Hitting a drive 300 yards definitely doesn't need to be expensive. To be honest, you only need to know 3 important components to be a part of the 300-yard club. And not a single one of them involve you spending £500 on a driver. So let me share with you the 3 main factors to help you hit 300 yards. And no, I'm not talking downhill with 30 miles an hour wind behind you. Now, one of the obvious components to this is speed, and I'll show you at the end the minimum speed you need to get 300 yards from your driver. However, the other 2 is technique and equipment, and they're quite closely interlinked. And hopefully after watching this video, you won't look at drivers the same ever again. Now, some of you will have speed, some of you will have technique, and some of you will have low spinning driver equipment as well. But let me show you why spin loft and backspin is the key to hitting 300 yards. In my hand, I have a driver that's very much not set up for 300 yards. 13.5 degrees loft, a Project X 5.0, which is essentially A-flex. And if I give this the absolute kitchen sink, even though it is cut down 1.5 inches, 120 miles an hour club head speed barely gets me to, well, 290. And don't get me wrong, a lot of us would be happy with 290 off the tee. However, I can't even see the apex of the drive. And understanding the correlation between angle attack and launch angle is the be-all end-all of dropping this. The faster we get in this game, the faster we swing a club, the more important spin loft is. The closer that angular attack is to the dynamic loft. For example, I swing the same driver, and now we're going to swing super slow. 73 miles an hour. Pretty close to what this driver is designed for in terms of club head speed. And even though I've got a relatively similar angle attack and launch angle, look at my spin rate drop. I mean, that's not a bad hit. 192 yards off that club head speed. I mean, that's pretty good. Now, I've got the technique and I've got the speed to hit the ball 300 yards, but I haven't got the equipment. This is a very high torque, very flexible shaft, and the faster I swing it, the more it does this on the way down. Hence why, even if I come massively up into the ball, trying to knock that spin down, keep my hands ahead of the ball, no matter what I do, even if I do hit it in that dull spot at the top right, that's probably dropped the spin quite well. I've got absolutely no hope of dropping this. So that's me showing equipment playing a part. However, let me show you why technique is a massive problem as well. This is my current gamer, 0211 9-degree PXG, X stiff shaft. And this time, even though we've got less loft at impact, I'm gonna come steep, I'm gonna come down, I'm potentially gonna add loft at impact rather than knock it off. And even at 108 miles an hour, more than enough to get 300 yards, by the way, I've essentially got the same spin loft angle as I did with that 13.5 driver. Hence why we're at 3,000. We take the 2 off that, that's 11 degrees. And I'll quickly flash up the swing with the XR speed. I think I was like 6 degrees up, 7 degrees up, but it launched at 20, which is around 12 degrees spin loft. As I showed at the start, at 70 miles an hour, a 12 degree spin loft angle is more than suitable. It's actually probably optimal. Nearly 190 yards at 74 miles an hour. But as we get faster, as we get quicker, that spin loft angle has to go from 12 degrees more down to like 7. Again, to prove a point, let's go with the XR speed once more. I'm going to go seriously on the inside, seriously on the up. I mean, that's high toe. That's as low spinning as I probably could get out of this. Massively on the inside, massively on the up, and that's just about got to the right amount of spin. But it was a very poor strike, and let's be honest, no one really ever wants to play that kind of shot. All right, let's try and find some cheap drivers to do this with. All right, here's a great example. I did this test with the M4 in a recent video, 10.5, stiff flex driver. The important thing is at 106, 107, 110 miles an hour, roughly the minimum to get 300 yards, the shaft isn't going to do loads of this. And predominantly because that player probably comes on the inside, it's not going to turn as much, so I'm not going to hit a massive hook out to the right-hand side. But that's basically it. Standard stiff flex shaft, standard 10.5 degree driver. Now I've just got to prove it. Oh, massive block out to the right. That's a good start. Did we get 300 yards? 1 yard off, disappointing. That was also too quick as well. I can't swing at 114. Let's swing it slower than that. Interesting point, however, I've hit it out to the right-hand side, which, by the way, increases the launch angle. Therefore, you can see at 114, 10-degree spin loft, so no wonder the spin's high, but at 2.9, 3,000 out to the right, you can imagine as I close this club face, i.e. hit a better shot, the angle of attack's going to stay the same, but the launch is going to come down. And then that backspin, meaning we should get a bit more distance. Not the best strike. Overdone it on the other side. 300 yards. Now we're down to 8-degree spin loft, and again you can see 2,200. The closer these two are, the less spin. Again, you can imagine me hitting down on this ball with the same driver, opening that club face, 107 miles an hour, but I've hit down on it finally. That's an 18-degree, that's negative, 18-degree spin loft, 4,000 in terms of backspin. Right, nice steady one. Let's cushion it up there. Oh yeah, that's about perfect. Don't think I could hit this driver better, to be honest. 314, 15 yards. Again, 8-degree spin loft. Take this away from this. Less backspin, 2,100, 2,200. Kind of the perfect backspin for any driver. But as I explained at the start, the lower the club head speed, the bigger that spin loft angle has to be to get that 2,100. As soon as we go 110, 120, all of a sudden you need a spin loft angle of more like 6. Hence why my driver setup is 7.5 degrees with an X-stiff shaft, as it caters and helps me towards hitting that kind of distance. All right, let's see if the new driver swing technique is working. Oh, that is kind of perfect. If only it wasn't 30 yards this way, however. Go on, get going. Get going. 330. Again, 120 miles an hour. We're now down to that 6-degree spin loft angle, hence why my spin can still stay under 3,000. If I was to use this driver setup and swing up more like 90, however, it's just going to nosedive out the air. The spin's going to be so low, and actually you're going to lose carry and distance because it's not in the air long enough. Same again, 6-degree spin loft, but at 87, produces 1,100. That's just not getting up in the air. However, as I've shown, virtually any driver head that's come out in the last 8 years with a 10.5-degree loft and a stiff flex or maybe X-stiff driver shaft will be able to give you the potential to hit 300 yards. Right, come on, here we go. Nice slow, nice straight, nice and steady. Could she be the 105? Oh, just get over the line. Get over the line. 105 miles an hour. I don't believe it. 1 yard short. That's got to be the one. 106 club head speed. We've done 1 mile an hour faster. 105 was definitely enough. Guys, I've recently opened a profile up on Skillist, so if you want to go and follow me there, put yourself in for a free consultation or ask me any questions, then please do that. Otherwise, sasgolfacademy.com for in-person lesson here in the studio. Guys, I'll catch you later.